Hello everyone, this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life, and today we're going to talk about a moringa again. I went on a trip and I saw some of my family members. They were like, let me tell you about this new powerful plant. I was like, that's moringa. I grow moringa. See this? That's a moringa. So there are some things I want to let you know about the moringa plant. First of all, it's drought tolerant, and if you think it died, it may come back on you. Another thing is, for mine, they grow quite tall. See that? That moringa plant is pretty tall, and I've only had these for approximately 7 to 8 months, maybe. So they grow fast. If you put it in a pot, I don't recommend putting it in a pot, by the way. Know that joker is going to get tall. It's almost as tall as my lime tree. Yeah, almost as, or the crepe myrtles that I've had for here 15 years. So this thing is at least 8 feet tall, and it's been about 8 months, so a foot a month. Another thing that I want to let you know about moringa is that people think that you can only use the leaves. That is not true. Harvest the leaves and put them in your shakes, and you should only take like 1 teaspoon a day. 1 teaspoon, not 2, 1. 1 teaspoon a day. Put it in your shakes or make some tea out of it. But if you have moringa, you can use the stems also for tea. And these are looking pretty weak out here. They're over here near the bees, who are active right now. But you can also use the stems. This one looks a little, he's got to be watered, but you can use the stems of the moringa also. So don't throw away your stems when you are harvesting the moringa. Go ahead and boil some of that down. It extracts the nutrients for you, and you can drink the tea, and it does some good for you also, although it's not as much. Some people think the leaves are better, so they just use the leaves. If you buy it commercially, they're probably going to grind up some of the stem too, because the stem is not going to hurt you. And some of the stems are pretty thin. When you're harvesting the moringa from the plant, some of the stem is going to come off with it automatically, because look at this. Let me pinch this off. See that? That's a little stem right there, but it's pliable and you can eat it. Okay? Doesn't taste very good. Doesn't taste very good at all. So I have put moringa around the perimeter. Excuse me, I put some in the back, and I put some around this gazebo. My issue was the rabbits apparently like moringa. One of them came back though. It ate it and it came back. Let me be quiet because the rabbit might see me. These jokers come back. This, before I left for vacation, this little moringa tree, it was gone. I only had this one that is hanging out by itself. See that? So that came back. We had a little bit of rain out here, but not much. The ground is still cracking, which is a good thing, because I told you moringa is drought tolerant. So it can take a drought and still be around. Let me see if this other one came back. I don't see it. A rabbit ate this one almost down to the ground. So I don't see it here. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, it's coming back. Let me show you. Moringa is resilient. Look at that. It looks like a weed eater ate it up, chopped it off, right? But here, look at that. It's coming back. I'm going to mark it just in case, it wasn't the weed eater. It wasn't the rabbit, and it was the weed eater. Make sure that doesn't get taken down again. So once you plant the moringa, you'll probably have it. You'll probably have it. They are... This ground is so tight. My ground is really, it is really, really dry, but I'm getting it in there, okay? Because I don't want it to get mowed down again by the rabbit or by the weed eater. I have another one over here. So you can plant it in sun or in shade. Here's the one that's in the shade, and this one seems to be doing the best. So I planted it 3 separate ways. I planted it in the shade, planted it in full sun, and I put it in containers. So my discovery is you're better off putting it in the ground. If you put it in a container, like I did, it's going to grow super fast, right? But the soil dries out a lot in those containers. And you have a plant that is just, it has to go in the ground. It's got those spiny, it doesn't have thick roots, at least not at 7 or 8 months. It has those thin vein roots that need to spread out. And when you put it in a container, well, you're limiting what it can do, although they grow faster. So if you want them fast and furious, go ahead and put them in a container. But if you want them to grow year after year, put them in the ground, because apparently they're like crepe myrtles. Once you put them in the ground, they're going to be there. And that's what I want. That's why I put those, I think there are 5 out there. 5 out there, 1 out there, and 2, right? Well, I'll put 4 over here, but the rabbit ate 2 of them. I'm sure the rabbit ate those. And then I have these. I didn't put this in the ground because this belongs to somebody else. I grew this for someone else. So let's talk about how to grow moringa, huh? Let's get inside. First and foremost, moringa seeds are very light, and I did not know that. So I ordered 1 ounce of moringa seeds, and I bought it from the Amazing Store, right? And I guess these are a subcontractor of the Amazing Store. This is Parsley Farm and Craft, and you can see it's 1 ounce, right? Every time I put this into what I'm gonna show you what I do, they germinate. These seeds are approximately, they're going on a year, so they're pretty new. And I have a whole lot. I mean, this bag was completely full. I've sent 2 people seeds, and same thing. They got good germination rates. So anyway, here they are. So what I do is I take a small bowl, right? Pour some water in there. Not a lot, right? Do not put all your moringa seeds in one bowl. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your moringa seeds in one bowl. I take these, right? I'm gonna take 3 because I already have moringa out there, right? You see I have water in there? Put your moringa seeds in there. Now, let me show you something. I'm gonna turn this camera around. Moringa seeds are different. There are some seeds, most seeds are supposed to go to the bottom. Moringa floats. Moringa will float on you, and I'll show you in just a second. Here are moringa seeds. You see that? They're floating, right? They're floating on top of the water. I'll pour some more water on there. You see how they're floating? They are not on the bottom of this glass. You hold the glass up so you can see. That's why I did it that way. You see that? They're floating. This is still good seed. Most seeds that float, people think are no good. Not the moringa. Moringa will float on you. This is good seed. So what I do is I let it soak for 6 to 8 hours, and then I put it in soil. So I'm so excited. Now that we have our moringa in the bowl floating, we're gonna let it sit here for 6 to 8 hours. You can let it sit longer. I think I may have said this already. You can let it sit longer. This is just my method. It takes about a week to a month. And I think the people who are getting germination in a month is because they didn't soak their seeds. You can plant them dry, but these seeds have to accumulate enough moisture on the interior for them to sprout. I don't know if this is moringa growing season for you, but you can use it for next year if you're up north. The plant, as far as I know, will regenerate if it dies down to the ground. I've had several. I just showed you 2 out there. They got eaten down or cut down, and they're coming back. And it's dry out there. There's hardly any water. So once you get a moringa in the ground, if you're in zone 9, 8, or 9, it's going to come back. I heard it's real hard to get rid of these jokers. So if you plant it where you want to plant it, all right? And don't order an ounce like me, because you'll have a million of them. I don't like wasting stuff. So instead of buying moringa tea, grow your own and harvest your own leaves. I draw them out in a paper bag. That's the old-timey way, and that's the way I prefer to do it. You could dehydrate it in a machine, but you could also dehydrate it in this. Super easy. Really natural. Paper bag. This is Jamaica with Jamaica Life. I hope you all realize how easy it is to do things yourself. Because this little bag probably would have cost me probably $10, maybe more. Because Moringa, man, they raking people over the coals for Moringa. The miracle tree. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.